Have you ever felt like your legs just aren't what they used to be? Maybe getting out of your favorite chair takes a bit more effort. Maybe each step feels a little heavier than the last. And maybe, just maybe, a quiet thought crosses your mind. What if one day I can't get up by myself? If that's ever happened to you, I want you to know something important. You're not alone. Not by a long shot. Millions of Americans over 60 feel this every single day. And it's not because they're out of shape. It's not because they don't care. It's simply because the legs are often the first to feel the weight of time. When your legs start to weaken, it doesn't just slow you down physically. It chips away at your confidence. It can make everyday things like walking to the mailbox, getting in and out of the car, or going up a few stairs feel uncertain, even risky. That sense of freedom you once had? It feels like it's slipping. But I have good news for you. Strong, steady legs aren't just for the young. You can rebuild strength, balance, and confidence right from your own living room. And believe it or not, it doesn't take hours at the gym. No expensive equipment, no personal trainer, just a towel, a simple resistance band, and about 10 minutes a day for just 10 days. Sounds too simple? I get it. But this isn't some quick fix promise. It's based on something called neuromuscular reactivation. That's a fancy way of saying we're waking up the connection between your brain and your muscles. You see, as we age, that connection can fade a little, like a radio station getting fuzzy. But with the right movements done the right way, you can tune it back in. And when that happens, your legs don't just feel stronger. They respond faster, move more confidently, and support you the way they're meant to. Let me share a story. Linda Parker, a 64-year-old retired teacher from Austin, Texas. She told me she couldn't go up more than 5 stairs without grabbing the rail. It wore her out, made her feel older than she really was. And deep down, she was scared of losing her independence. But Linda didn't give up. She tried a simple plan, 3 short exercises each day, no more than 10 minutes. And after just 10 days, something shifted. She walked up an entire flight of stairs. No stopping, no shaking, no fear. That moment meant the world to her. And it reminded me, once again, it's never too late. Linda's not a rare case. She's just someone who decided to take the first step. And maybe today, that first step is yours. A quiet decision, a few minutes of movement, and a promise to yourself that your legs still have more life to give. So if you've been feeling like your legs have betrayed you, maybe it's not betrayal at all. Maybe they're just waiting for you to wake them up again. 2. Have you ever looked down at your legs and thought, well, I still have muscles, so why do they feel so weak? That's a fair question. And if it's been on your mind, you're not alone. In fact, I hear this from folks all the time, especially those over 60. See, when it comes to strength, most people think it's all about muscle size. But here's the part that often gets overlooked. It's not just about having muscle. It's about using it, and more importantly, how well your brain and your body stay in touch. Let me put it this way. Imagine your muscles are like big, powerful speakers. Even the best speakers won't work well if the signal from the radio is fuzzy. You'll hear static, broken sound, not because the speakers are broken, but because the signal's weak. The same thing happens in your body. When your brain stops sending strong signals to your muscles, they start to feel slow, shaky, weak, even if the muscle itself is still there. And this happens to a lot of us, especially with age, not because we've done something wrong, but because when we stop using certain movements, our brain starts to forget them. That's just how the system works. Use it or lose it. But here's the good news. You can get it back. That signal can be restored. Let me tell you about George Simmons. He's 67, lives out in Denver, Colorado. Used to be an avid hiker, but after a small knee injury, he started taking it easy. Didn't want to make things worse. A few months passed. He noticed his legs would tremble a bit when getting up from the couch. He still had muscle, sure, but the confidence, the control, it just wasn't there anymore. At a physical therapy session, his therapist looked him straight in the eye and said, "George, your legs aren't weak because you're old. They're weak because you stopped talking to them." That hit home, because it wasn't about age. It was about connection. See, when you don't use a muscle regularly, Your nervous system sort of puts it on standby. It doesn't go away. It just dozes off. And the longer it stays idle, the harder it is for your brain to wake it up. But it can be done. In fact, with just 5 to 10 days of doing the right kind of movements, targeted, simple exercises you can do at home, most people feel a difference. Faster steps, better balance, more control when getting up or walking across the room. It's like tuning back into a station you haven't heard in years. The song is still there. You just need to clear up the static. So if you're feeling unsteady, if your legs don't respond the way they used to, don't jump to blame aging. Chances are, your legs are still capable. They're just waiting for your brain to give the green light again. And here's the best part. You don't need fancy gear. You don't need to join a gym. You don't even need to break a sweat. All you need is a few minutes a day, a quiet space, and the willingness to turn the connection back on. Because real strength, it doesn't start in your legs. It starts in your mind. As we age, one of the first things we tend to notice isn't just a loss of strength. It's a loss of connection, especially between the brain and the legs. Your legs might still look strong. You may still have muscle, but somehow they feel slower, weaker, less steady, and that can be frustrating, even scary at times. But here's the encouraging truth. Weak legs don't happen overnight, and more importantly, they're not a life sentence. Often, what's really happening is that your muscles have gone a bit quiet. They're waiting for the signal from your brain to come through loud and clear again. The good news is you can rebuild that signal, and you don't need a gym, fancy equipment, or hours of training. All it takes is a few minutes each day, right at home, with a towel, a soft surface, and a simple band. Let me share with you 3 gentle exercises. They've helped thousands of folks just like you feel stronger, steadier, and more in control in just 10 days. Exercise 1 towel press. This is a great way to wake up your thighs and remind your brain how to talk to them. Here's what you'll need. A rolled up hand towel, about 2 to 3 inches thick, roughly the width of your wrist. Here's how to do it. Sit in a firm chair or lie comfortably on a bed. Place the towel under your knee, so your knee stays slightly bent. Now gently press your knee downward into the towel, as if trying to flatten it. At the same time, lift your toes up toward the ceiling. Hold that press for 5 seconds. Then relax for a couple of seconds. Repeat 15 times on each leg. Why this works? It activates the big muscles in your thigh and around your ankle. More importantly, it sends a strong signal back to your brain. It's especially helpful if you haven't been very active lately. Exercise 2 straight leg raise. This one helps build strength in your thighs and hips, so important for standing up and walking with ease. You'll need a comfortable surface like a bed, a yoga mat, or a carpeted floor. Here's what to do. Lie on your back. Keep one leg straight and bend the other with your foot flat. Now tighten your straight leg, slightly pressing it gently down. Pull your toes toward your head. Lift your straight leg about 12 to 18 inches. That's about 1 to 1.5 feet. Hold at the top for 3 to 5 seconds. Lower slowly and with control. Rest for 2 to 3 seconds. Then repeat. Do 10 to 15 times on each leg. Why this works? It strengthens your thighs, hips, and core. And it helps improve your balance, especially when standing from a chair or walking across the room. Exercise 3 leg raise with resistance band. This version adds a bit of challenge, which helps speed up strength building. You'll need a light to medium resistance band. Loop it gently around both ankles. Here's how to do it. Lie down just like before. Keep one leg bent with your foot flat. Keep the other leg straight. Pull your toes up toward your head. Now lift the straight leg again, same 12 to 18 inches, while feeling the pull of the band. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Lower slowly. Repeat 10 to 15 times on each leg. Why this works? That little bit of resistance makes your muscles work harder. It strengthens the thighs, hips, and core and helps with stability when you walk or stand. The band also gives steady tension, which helps you build strength more effectively. Helpful tips. Always move slowly. Stay in control. Feeling a little tired afterward is perfectly normal. But if you feel sharp pain, stop right away. You can do these exercises while watching TV, listening to music, or before bed. Consistency matters more than intensity. If you stick with this for just 10 days, you'll likely notice something surprising. Not just stronger legs, but a deeper connection with your own body. And that's where confidence begins. Not in how far you can walk, but in how sure you feel taking the first step. 4.N01 likes that sinking feeling when standing up from a chair takes more effort than it used to. And it can be downright discouraging when your legs feel shaky just walking down a few steps. But here's the truth. Plain and simple, your body is still capable of change. Even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or even your 80s. You don't need to push yourself to the limit. You don't need hours of workouts or expensive equipment. What you do need is a clear, simple plan. A few minutes a day, done the right way, and most importantly, done consistently for 10 days straight. This plan is something I've recommended to many of my readers and patients over the years. It works whether you're living in a studio apartment in New York City or enjoying the quiet pace of life in the Colorado mountains. Let's walk through it together. Days 1 through 3, wake up the connection. During the first 3 days, the goal isn't to strain or push. It's to reconnect your brain and your legs. You're waking up the system gently and with purpose. It's a quiet reset, a fresh start. Here's your daily rhythm. Morning, towel press 15 times on each leg. Afternoon, straight leg raise 10 times on each leg. Evening, towel press again 15 times per leg. Each session takes about 5 minutes. The key is to move slowly, breathe evenly, and focus on the motion. You'll be surprised how much you start to feel even in just a few days. Days 4 through 6, add gentle challenge. By now, your body may be starting to respond. Standing up might feel a little easier. Your steps a little lighter. Fatigue might come later in the day than before. This is the time to introduce a bit more effort without overdoing it. Daily rhythm now looks like this. Morning, towel press 18 reps per leg. Afternoon, straight leg raise 12 reps per leg. Evening, begin resistance band leg raises 10 reps per leg. If you don't have a resistance band yet, you can find a starter one at most stores for around $10 to $15. Look for something light, about 10 pounds of resistance. It should feel like a gentle pull, not a struggle. Days 7 through 10 build confidence and strength. This is when you'll really notice the shift. Getting up feels smoother. Your balance improves. And that small fear of falling, it starts to fade. Now you're ready to gently increase the intensity. Try this routine. Morning, towel press 20 reps per leg, holding each press for 6 to 7 seconds. Afternoon, straight leg raise 15 reps per leg. Hold at the top for 5 seconds. Evening, resistance band leg raise 12 to 15 reps per leg. If that feels good, add one more set in the evening. And if the light band feels too easy, try a medium one around 12 to 15 pounds of resistance. A few helpful tips along the way. Feeling a little tired afterward? That's a good sign. Your muscles are waking up. But if you feel sharp pain, especially in the joint, stop. Adjust your form or cut back the reps. Drink plenty of water. 6 to 8 glasses a day is a good goal. And keep track of your reps each day. It helps you see your progress and keeps you motivated. Let me share a quick story about someone just like you. Richard Hayes is 68 years old and lives in Portland, Oregon. He started this plan because he was struggling to step up onto his front porch. Just 10 days later, not only could he handle the steps with ease, he walked all the way around his block without needing to rest. Richard told me, "It wasn't because I trained hard. I just trained consistently." And that's the real secret. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything all at once. You just have to keep showing up. A little bit every day, step by step. This 10-day plan isn't about becoming an athlete. It's about reclaiming control, feeling steady, confident, and capable again. And that feeling, it's worth every minute. 5. You can follow every step of a plan. You can do all the right exercises, morning to night. But if you don't build a few smart habits around those movements, you might not see the progress you're hoping for. And worse, you could end up feeling sore, frustrated, or even risk an injury. Over my 20-plus years working with folks in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, I've learned this. It's often the small things that make the biggest difference. So today, I want to share 5 simple but powerful rules. They'll help you stay safe, feel stronger, and move with more ease and confidence. Let's start with the first one. Stay hydrated because muscles need water to work smoothly. I know. You've heard it before. Drink more water. But trust me, this one really matters. When your body is low on fluids, muscles start to stiffen. They cramp more easily, and they take longer to bounce back after movement. Think of a dry sponge. Hard to bend, easy to crack. Now think of a damp sponge, soft, flexible, ready to move. That's the difference proper hydration makes in your body. Try to drink about 6 to 8 glasses of water each day. That's around 48 to 64 ounces. If plain water isn't your thing, you can go for herbal tea or water mixed with a splash of fruit juice. Keep a water bottle nearby and take small sips throughout the day. Maintain good posture because a steady spine supports strong legs. Posture isn't just about looking upright. It directly affects how well your body moves and how safe your joints stay. When your posture is off, like slouching or leaning too far forward, your muscles can't work the way they're meant to. Instead, your knees, hips, and back start picking up the slack. Here's what good posture looks like. When sitting, keep your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Both feet flat on the floor. And knees should stay lined up, not pushed out in front of your toes. When standing, imagine a string gently pulling you upward from the top of your head. Keep your knees soft, not locked, and let your weight spread evenly across your feet. Use support when needed, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Sometimes, people think using a chair or wall means they're not strong enough. But I see it differently. Using support is smart. It's thoughtful, and it helps you build confidence safely. Keep a sturdy chair nearby when you exercise. Stand near a wall if balance feels unsteady. And if you normally use a cane or walker, have it within reach. This isn't about proving anything. It's about keeping yourself upright, safe, and in control. Listen to your body, it knows what it needs. Not every ache is a red flag. It's normal to feel a little muscle burn or light fatigue after you move. But sharp pain, especially in your knees, hips, or back, is a different story. If something doesn't feel right, pause. Check your form. You might be rushing the motion or straining too far. Or your body might just be saying, let's take a break. Pushing through pain doesn't build strength. But listening, that's how progress really begins. Be consistent because true change comes from repetition. This is the golden rule. The one I want you to carry with you, even after everything else. It's not about doing it all perfectly. It's about doing it regularly. You don't need to work out for an hour. You don't even need to break a sweat. You just need to show up. Every single day. Take Barbara Scott, for example. She's 73, lives in Minnesota. She started doing towel presses while waiting for her coffee to brew, and leg raises during her favorite evening show. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't fast. But 3 weeks later, she stood up from her chair without using the armrest. That's the power of small, steady action. So here's what I want you to remember. Your body doesn't have to be what it was at 30. It just needs your support now today, with patience, with kindness, and with care. Every step you take, no matter how small, is still a step forward. And if you stay with it, those steps add up to strength. Real, lasting strength you can feel. 6. You've made it to the end of your 10-day journey. No gym membership. No fancy sneakers. No extreme routines or early morning marathons. All it took was a few minutes a day, a towel, a simple band, and most importantly, your willingness to begin. Now, take a breath and think about where you started. In just 10 days, you've done something powerful. You've reawakened muscle groups that had gone quiet. You've reconnected your brain to your body. You've improved your balance, gained better control, and found it easier to stand up, sit down, and move through the day without needing help. You've learned how to move safely, at home, any time of day, on your own terms. You don't need to feel young again. That's not the goal. What matters is that you're coming back to you, back to feeling steady when you stand, Back to taking steps that feel sure and confident. Back to holding your head a little higher as you start each morning. Now, you might not feel brand new just yet. That's okay. But you likely do feel the shift. Maybe your legs don't shake as much. Maybe standing up takes less effort. Maybe walking across the room feels a little smoother. And maybe, just maybe, there's a quiet confidence showing up in your eyes again. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of people all across this country. From Karen in Wisconsin, to Tom in Florida, to Steven in Arizona. None of them were athletes. They were everyday folks just like you. Just like me. And every single one of them started with one small choice. The choice to begin. So if you're still here reading this, I want you to take this in. You've reached a turning point. Not an ending, but a new beginning. You can keep going. Repeat these same movements for another 10 days. Or 30 days. Or make them a part of your daily routine. Right alongside brushing your teeth or pouring your morning coffee. If there's one move that feels good, hold on to it. If another feels too tough, adjust it. Your body will guide you if you listen. And it will reward you if you stay patient. Now, if you're asking yourself, where should I go from here? My answer is simple. Start tomorrow morning. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't worry about being perfect. Just lay down the towel and begin. Because every knee press, every lift of your leg is one more quiet step toward a stronger, steadier you. More balance, more ease, more freedom to move through life on your own 2 feet. So know your journey doesn't end here. Not even close. It's just beginning. And I truly believe you have more in you than you think. One step at a time. One day at a time. All you have to do is begin.